Okay, for this project, I'm using Caron Simply Soft. I took the tag off, but that's what it is. But any 4-ply yarn will work. And then I'm going to be using a size G 4.25 millimeter crochet hook. Now, you should be able to easily customize this to fit any size that you want, any size adult or even a child. But the chain that you want to start with, the number depends on how long you really want the cup to be. So you just want to lay it out and measure it like this. So this is how you're gonna measure the first part. If you want it long like this, you just count the number of chains you have. It doesn't have to be any specific multiple or anything. If you want it shorter, you just want a short one, or you're doing it for a child, just measure it out. Just about like that. I'm starting out with a chain of 22. But how you want it really depends on you. And now I'm just going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then 1 single crochet in every stitch across until I get to the end of the chain. Get finished with your row of 1 single crochet in every stitch. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Now this is going to be the repeat row for a while now. I'm going to go into, not this very first stitch, but the next one, and I'm going to go into the back loop of it only. So you can see how there's 2 loops. Normally you would go through both loops, but I'm only going to go in the back loop of it. And then I'm going to single crochet. And I'm going to do that in every stitch across, single crocheting in the back loops only. And that's how it's going to be for this part of it. It's just single crocheting in the back loops. And what that does is put that ridge there. It's going to make it look ribbed. That's the loop that we didn't go through making the ridging. So I'm just going to continue down, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch, but only working in the back loop of each stitch. To the end, I'm just going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to repeat this row again. 1 single crochet in the back loops only in every stitch, and this is the row I'm just going to keep repeating for a while until this piece is big enough to wrap around my wrist. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working, doing rows of single crochets, working in the back loops until this piece is going to fit around my wrist. So I'll let you know how many total rows that I do. Okay, I've done 23 rows, and what you want to do is kind of stretch it. And you want it to be able to go around your wrist. But I'm still going to add 2 more rows onto it. So you want it to be where it looks like if you add 2 more rows it'll work out. See? About like that. And you need it to be on an odd number that you end up on. Because when you slip stitch together, you want to make the seam look right. And it's only going to look right if it's an odd number. So I stopped at 23, and then I'm going to add 2 more. So it'll still be an odd number. So what I'm going to do is, for these other 2 rows, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And work single crochet in the back loop, but I'm only going to go about 3/4 of the way up. I'm going to go up for 14 stitches. Working in the back loop still. Okay. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm just going to go back down, single crocheting, 1 single crochet in every stitch. So it's the same thing, it's just shorter rows. And if you happen to make yours longer, just go up to where there's about 1.5 inches or so left at the top, however many stitches that is for you. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way down. Okay, now I'm going to take my piece and sew it together. So I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to slip stitch it together. I'm going to go through both loops now. I'm not going to do the back loops anymore. And I'm going to slip stitch it together. I'm going to go through a stitch on this piece and a stitch on the next piece. Slip stitch, and I'm going to do this all the way up. Just like this. Okay, I single or slip stitched it together like that. Now I'm going to take it and flip it inside out, or right side out, so you can't see that seam. Like that. And now I'm going to take my yarn here where I left off. And I'm just going to do one more thing here. It's coming from the inside here. Okay. Okay, where I left off, I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to go around, putting 1 single crochet in each one of these stitches here up this side, like this. And then I'm going to go around the top of it too with 1 single crochet. Probably go ahead and put 2 in the corner up here, 2 single crochets, just to make it kind of round out a little bit. And work around, 1 single crochet in every stitch. All around the top here. All around the top. Now I started here and I went around with a row single crochet, and I'm to here, and I'm just going to go back down just to clean up the edges. And you want to put 2 in this corner also, just like we did the other corner. And then all the way down. We're just working around until we get back to our starting point. Okay, and then when I get here into the crease, I'm going to do a single crochet decrease. So I'm going to go into this first stitch, drop a loop, and then I'm going to go in to the next one, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops. And then I can do that again right here. Go into the next stitch, drop a loop, and then the next one, drop a loop, go through all 3, and then I'll just slip stitch into the very first single crochet. So I'll show you that one more time just in case. When you get down to where you have 4 stitches left down here in the corner, we're just going to single crochet decrease. Oops. Over them. So if you look, there's going to be this one, and then one here, and one here. And I'm just going to decrease over the first 2, and then decrease over the last 2. And it's probably kind of hard to see, but just kind of do the best you can at spacing out 2 single crochet decreases here at the end, down here at this point. And then slip stitch into the first single crochet, and then I'm going to tie this off. Okay, I got that done, and I'm going to set it to the side for now. And now I'm going to work on the inside part. And you want to make a chain for however many rows you did. I did 25 total, counting these 2 short ones. And then I'm going to add 1 more. So whatever your number is plus 1. So I did a chain of 26. So what I'm going to do is, without twisting my chain, I'm going to slip stitch in the first stitch to form a ring. Then I'm going to chain 3. Now I'm going to work around I'm going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Just like that. I made it around. After 1 double crochet in each stitch, I'm going to slip stitch into the top of my beginning chain 3. Now I'm going to chain 4, and this chain 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. And I'm going to go back into the same stitch and double crochet. So I just made a V stitch. Double, chain 1, double. Now I'm going to skip 1 stitch, and then I'm going to V stitch in the next. I'm going to double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet all into the same stitch. Like that. I'm going to skip 1 stitch, and I'm going to V stitch in the next. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Skip 1 stitch and V stitch in the next. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip a stitch and V stitch. I'm just going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, I made it back around again after my last V stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my chain 3, and then I'm going to jump over to here's the V, the chain 1 space. I'm going to slip stitch over to it, and now I'm going to work a V stitch again. So I'm going to chain 4 and go back into the same spot and double crochet like that. So that's kind of a V stitch inside this V stitch. Now I'm going to jump over to the next V stitch. You can see the V stitch in the middle of it, and do another V stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. I'm going to jump over to the next one in the middle of it and do the same. double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, go to the next one and V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then you want to repeat that all the way around. Okay, I made it back around after that second row of V-stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch into the third chain of that chain 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch over into the middle of the V-stitch. Now I'm going to do a chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. I'm going to go back in and do another double crochet, so that's 2 double crochets in a row. Now I'm going to chain 2, go back in the same stitch and do 2 more doubles. So what I did is a V-stitch still, but it's got 2 double crochets on each side. So I'm going to jump over to the middle of the next V-stitch and do 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 more doubles. The next V-stitch I'm going to do the same, 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 more doubles. And that's the pattern that you want to repeat in every V-stitch. Gets 2 doubles, a chain 2, and 2 doubles all the way back around. Get back around again. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of my first chain 3, and now I'm going to slip stitch over to my chain 2 space. So slip stitch into the next stitch, and then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Now I'm going to chain 3, and this time I'm going to put in every chain 2 space, I'm going to put 3 double crochets, so that chain 3 counts as 1, so go ahead and put 2 more, so that's 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then 3 more double crochets, all into the same stitch. Like that. And the next one, the next chain 2 space here is going to get 3 doubles, chain 3, and then 3 more doubles. And then you just want to repeat this one all the way around. Now if you're making this for someone smaller, you may not need all these rows. You could stop whenever, but it's going to be kind of tucked up in here, so it really depends on how wide you want it. But if you want to not do any more rows, I mean, that's up to you, but I'm going to finish this row out. Now I'm just going to chain 3, and I'm going to repeat the row I just did. I'm going to do the 3 double crochets, and remember that chain 3 counts as 1, so that's 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to go back in and do 3 more. And I'm going to jump over here to the next space and do the same. 3 doubles, chain 3, and 3 more doubles. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. I'm going to do that in every single chain 3 space. It's just like the row before. End of that row, I'm just going to slip stitch into my chain 3, beginning chain 3, and I'm going to tie it off, and I'm going to hide my tails. I'm going to take my first piece and I'm going to flip it wrong side out. And then I have this one, and I'm going to flip it wrong side out. going to sew it. In here like this. And then when I flip it right side out, the good sides will be facing me. So I'm just going to kind of line it up with this. I'm going to sew it on this first row of double crochet with my yarn needle. And I'm going to sew it right up to the edge of my split that I have in it. So, and I'm just going to, if you want to pin it and make it easier, you can. But I'm just going to kind of neatly sew it all the way around. Try to get it as straight as you can. Like pin it would probably help. I'm not going all the way through to the other side. I'm just going in, grabbing some of the gray, some of the first color, whatever color that was, and going around. I think I might pin it here in just a second. It's getting, it's moving around on me. Go in. And I'm just going to do this all the way around. Being trying to do it neatly so your stitches don't show through on the other side. Well, at least not real bad anyways. Just, I know you can't help for some of them to show, but I'm just trying to grab on the gray or this color. I'm just trying to kind of grab the middle of the stitch so I don't bleed through to the other side. Trying to. I don't know if it's working or not, but. I'm just going to do this all the way around. I actually might go around it twice doing this. I think I will. That way it doesn't come off. So I'm going to finish this, sewing this on, and I'll meet back up with you. Okay, I'm all finished, and that's all there is to it. You just need to make two the same. I hope you enjoy my tutorial. I hope you're able to follow along okay. Please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials, and I'll post a link to my Facebook page below. You can check it out if you want. And until next time, have a good day.